My name is Ashley. After listening to my story, you may think that I am a fool, but then I guess love has the power to make anyone a fool. So, there I was, 34 and fabulous. But the dating scene in my neck of the woods was drier than a week-old croissant. My girl Rosa was all over me to try this app and widen my net internationally. Thinking what the heck, I downloaded it and swiped right on a fine specimen named Prince. Now, this dude had presence. Think sculpted beard, gleaming smile, and dripping in regal African garb. Every fiber of my being screamed money, honey. His opening line? Hello. I have never seen a more beautiful hair. Creative? No. But hey, the man complimented my mane, which is always a good start. Turns out Prince Emeka, oil and gas tycoon with a royal lineage, allegedly, was my match. We talked for hours, spilling our guts to each other like we'd known each other forever. That night, I drifted off excited, but with a healthy dose of skepticism. This internet boo thing was fine and all, but the distance and, the whole thousands of other women thing had me guarded. But Prince was persistent. Texts, calls, FaceTime. This dude was smitten. And let me tell you, Prince in real life, even finer than his pictures. I was convinced, honey. This was it. My African king had arrived. We were making plans for his year-end visit, and let's just say, my heart was doing the happy dance. Then, radio silence. Weeks of it. Panic clawed at my throat. Calls went unanswered, texts unread. Was I ghosted? Did he find a shinier African princess? Prince had assured me he wasn't interested in anyone else, especially not from back home. So what was the deal? Just when I was about to lose my entire mind, Prince calls. Distressed. Apparently kidnapped. A whole story about a rogue trip to Mali, a disapproving royal pops, and a hefty ransom demand. 50 grand to secure his release. Now, $50,000 is a big chunk of change. But hey sis, I'm a saver. Before the day ended, the money was wired. Over the next few months, crickets. Calls went unanswered. Social media blackout. Prince had vanished. Heartbreak doesn't even begin to describe it. But a sliver of hope remained. Maybe something truly awful happened. Maybe he was still out there, needing me. But deep down, I knew. This prince was a fraud. A scammer who played me like a cheap fiddle. Depression became my unwelcome companion. The phone became an extension of my hand. Dialing a number I knew wouldn't connect. Then like a ghost, Prince reappeared. Tears, apologies, the whole sob story. Claimed he was a reformed scammer, madly in love, and determined to repay every dime. His words were balm to my wounded soul. Against my better judgment, I forgave him. One condition: never lie to me again. He swore on everything he held dear. Delusional? Maybe. But love makes you do crazy things. Apparently, leaving the scam life wasn't that easy. There was this settlement he had to make with his gang before they'd let him go. He needed my help once again. He needed me to collect money from their victims. He promised that their victims were only corporations and not individuals like me. I agreed because I loved him. Love is that powerful. It makes good people betray their conscience. So I became an unofficial member of the gang. They scam cooperation, and I make all the transfers from the US to Nigeria. True to his promise, he settled the gang and was a free man. My very own man. Now I could have him all to myself. My prince flew in on a white stallion. Okay, maybe a coach flight. And we got married. Those first few months were blissful. Prine loved me in all the right ways. His touch was magical, and I looked forward to coming home and spending the night in his arms. Our love was perfect, or so I thought, until one day, I came home to an empty apartment, cleaned out bank accounts, and found out that he had run away with my cousin who was pregnant for him. Turns out Prince Charming had a few more chapters in his villain origin story. That wound is still fresh. A brutal reminder that love can be a battlefield, and sometimes the person you trust the most ends up holding the weapon.